I've never felt the pull to be a mother.
Some of the worst advice I ever got in my early 20s was to just have your babies and get it out the way.
I don't understand the hype about kids.
Baby strike.
Heartburn. True. Nipple spasms. True. Hip and knee locks after C-section. Definitely.
Up, fed, dressed, out the door without any meltdowns, tantrums, or tears, to get to 2 different drop-offs, to make it back to my desk in time before meetings at 9 a.m.
Things that were very rarely talked about until recently. And now that we're seeing some real life accounts of motherhood and the loneliness in motherhood and the day-to-day struggles and the identity crises, a lot of women are like, yeah, that seems like a bad deal to me.
Let's talk about the choice of becoming a parent or not.
Serious question. Younger millennials and Gen Z. Are we having kids?
My biggest idol is my auntie, who owns her own fashion brand. She has no children, and she's the happiest woman I've ever met. And I'm like, I want to be you.
Who's going to look after you when you're old?
We're all at a high risk of being alone as we age, and it's not whether or not we have children. It's whether or not we treat people like
Who's going to look after you when you're older? That's what...
Me, honey!
Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm the eldest Gen Z. Welcome to a video about, since the beginning of time, people, couples, namely women, have been encouraged to start a family, to pass down your family seed, pass on your traditions, create community by having children. This is something that young adults think about a lot. If you're anything like me, even though you don't have children, it is something that comes into your purview often. A growing number of millennial and Gen Z women are choosing not to become parents. A 2021 Pew Research Center survey shows 44% of non-parents say it is not too likely or not likely at all that they will have children someday. It is a welcome shift for many Gen Z and millennial women. For decades and decades, there was an assumption that to be an adult in our culture, you had to be married and you had to have kids, and I think that assumption is kind of falling away. There is a growing community of people online, namely women, who are being very open and expository about their choice to not have children.
10 reasons why I never want to have kids.
My child-free status.
5 reasons that my husband and I decided not to have children.
I found a thread on Reddit with a bunch of uncommon reasons people are deciding not to have kids.
So I never wanted to be a mom because I was like, that is too hard, I can't do it. And then I accidentally became a mom, and I was correct.
I got tagged in a video of a kid who found the paint.
Tell us a message to your future grandkids.
I don't want kids, but if I did, I'd want them to know I was hot, I had fun, and I had really good friends.
I understand that motherhood is a sacred journey, but motherhood is not for everyone. And I so feel that. Motherhood is really difficult and it requires a lot. My own mother has even said that she never intended to have children. When she was around my age before she had children, that's not something that she saw for herself. And then, you know, life happened. I think for a lot of women, it is just something that happens. It's not something that they necessarily have time to think about. And with recent policy changes, it becomes less and less of a choice for us.
Good morning, y'all. I'm remembering the days when I used to leave the house wearing a half-ass top and a pair of booty shorts. I have to carry this bag, this purse, this diaper bag, this blanket, this baby.
You can't just have one. You got to give them a sibling. They'll be lonely. They'll have nobody to play with. Don't fall for it. They don't play together. They don't even like each other. They're mortal enemies. Just have one and have some peace in your life. I haven't known a moment's peace in 10 years.
The people who put their lives on the line to bring lives into the world, the parents, put their time, their money, their bodies, their relationships, their mental sanity on the line to continue the world, to allow us to have nurses to care for us one day when we're in the nursing home.
Because look at what my kid did to me. It's a fucking Pac-Man.
There were 10 years when I couldn't stand my husband. And guess when it happened? When those kids were little, right? When you're just married, you got your life, he's got his, you come together. It's all, ooh, good to see you, bye, take it easy. The minute we had kids, it was like, where are you going? Because you got this project.
That's assuming that you have an emotionally available partner. I haven't had one yet, and I don't even know if I've been one yet.
It is not worth it if you are not ready or cannot mentally wrap your head around being a parent 24/7 no matter what. Basically, any unfortunate situation, you still need to show up and parent. It's not worth it if you are not ready or cannot wrap your head around that you will now become second.
You are on their time. And that requires patience.
It's not worth it if you have some type of, and you recognize some type of unresolved trauma, either from your childhood, past relationships, whatever the case is, that you have shoved all the way down. I 100% guarantee you that that will resurface when you do become a parent.
You are so real for that. You can't set boundaries with an infant. Let me know your thoughts.
I'm starting to see a lot of women and men saying, thank God I don't have a baby. I don't want no kids.
Yeah.
Having kids used to be a beautiful thing.
Right.
Now it seems like a lot of people don't want it at all.
It's true.
So I think it has a lot to do with how poor we are as a generation.
Agreed.
And also how free we want to be. And you can't be broken free.
If you follow me on TikTok, you know I love an opinion that involves capitalism. So let's see.
I just totaled up how much my children cost me per year, and the number is going to shock you because it shocked me. $47,475 a year for 3 kids.
Crunch the numbers, and here is our total cost to travel to 19 countries in 1 year. Total comes out to $57,000.
I get it. I mean, yeah. Having children is astronomical, and there are so many conditions and circumstances that play into that, many of which are out of our individual control.
So I had a baby 2 months ago, and I just got the hospital bill. Let's see how much it costs. First thing is the labor room / delivery room, $13,900. Ouch. I got another bill that says room and board semi-private. That was $19,111. Anesthesia, $2,181. Laboratory was $862. Emergency room, which was $411.
From the jump.
Okay, want to know the final total? In total, it cost me $47,292.01 to have a baby. But after insurance, I only had to pay $2,205.09.
What's crazy to me is, like, we've known, right? We've known that the cost of having children is very high, but I've heard numbers like $20,000 or $25,000. This is double. Imagine that there were more complications during the delivery, and maybe you had to stay in the hospital longer, or your baby had to stay in the hospital longer. Obviously, I wish that on absolutely no one. These are real things that you have to think about and consider, like,
so many people focus on the financial part of parenting and forget that the most important part is the emotional availability.
To be a parent, to be a good parent, you have to be able to exercise your emotional levelness. My Bialik is such a good resource on a number of things. If you are wondering if you are ready to have kids, go listen to a couple of her episodes of her podcast. Most of us knew her first as the funny actor from The Big Bang Theory, and then you find out that she actually has a PhD, is a literal scientist. Let's watch a couple of her videos because I feel like it really gets in deep on this topic.
Learned to say to them is, I've never been your parent with you at the age you're at, with me at the place I'm at in my life until this moment. So give me a second, because I don't have all the answers. I've never lived through their childhood with them to know how to handle things. I need a minute because we have to figure this out together. I'm still your parent. I still know what I'm doing. We're not besties, but we're in this together.
To have the emotional maturity, and I'm sure she names in this episode, that doesn't necessarily happen all the time, every time, but like that's what we're aiming toward. And to be able to do that and to just pause, it's healing, okay? It's healing.
What self-compassion means is saying, I'm not allowed to pretend that didn't happen because that's gonna f up my kids.
I have no feedback.
The people that aren't having kids, it's not that we don't understand, it's that we very much understand.
According to the Pew Research Center survey, reasons for not having children range from medical and financial to concerns about the state of the world and the environment. Valid. Most participants who do not plan to have children said they simply just don't want to.
I'm living something and I'm experiencing something that they
kind of want and don't have. Number two, I really wanted to talk about this whole thing of like, oh, silent happiness. And if you're so content being child-free and single, why do you need to feel the need to boast about it? Which completely ignores the fact that when people get engaged, they post their engagement pictures. Getting ready for the wedding, they post that they're looking for their wedding dress. They also post the rehearsal dinner. They post the wedding and the outfits, the reception dress. They post their beauty routine. They post the makeup. They post the bridesmaids on there. So let's get into the aunties. Let's get into the aunties of it all.
I want to be the rich child-free aunt when I grow up.
Move! It is being celebrated that you are the cool best friend or you're the cool aunt and you are just living your best life and you are the person who can swoop in and babysit sometimes. Or maybe you're just the one who brings the gifts and the good time on a random Saturday in June and then you go flit on back to your condo.
Is your dad in a bad mood today? He better not be because I'm in a fighting mood.
Your kids coming?
I don't have children.
Who do you live with?
I live by myself in France.
I totally see that life for myself. I don't know about you. I imagine myself living wherever it is that I'm living. And like my sister ships her kids off to me for the summer for a week or two. And like we just have a good time. I see that for myself.
I don't want to have kids because I want my money to go towards more important things. Me.
And is that selfish? Is it selfish to want to nourish and nurture other relationships in your life? Is it selfish to want to build a beautiful life for yourself that suits all of your needs, to keep all of that energy and effort only on yourself? Let me know your thoughts. And that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And be sure to follow me over on TikTok. You'll see me a lot sooner over there. And I'll see you next time. Bye! Bloomers. Come on, man. Ooh, Tina. More than my annual income. Beautiful thing. Only the real ones will know I greased up for the second half. Bro, thank you telling us what it's really like.
Homemaking is not a 40-hour-a-week job. You clock out when you're dead.
So when people say they don't want children at their weddings, it's non-negotiable. This is why. Nothing to say. Let's roll with it, okay? Great. What else is there to say? But the concern shouldn't be about the quote-unquote spinsters. There's a lot to consider.